Hi, my name is Andrew Golub, and I'm going to be presenting on the Audubon Christmas bird count and its use in monitoring black skimmer populations. So, for the introduction section, I'll begin by talking about the Christmas bird count. It is an annual event that's held by the Audubon Society from around mid-December to early January. People sign up through the Audubon Society to go bird watching, and they record the number of birds of each species that they find, and they make an aggregate of all of that data to monitor various bird populations. This study focuses specifically on black skimmers, and the data gathered is from 1950 until 2015. My hypothesis for this study is that during the period from 1950 until 2015, the population of black skimmers has experienced an overall decrease in their population with a decreasing rate of change in recent years, meaning that it's improving, but that they're not necessarily going positive yet. So, black skimmers are a migratory bird species that live as far south as Venezuela and as far north as Maine. They're called black skimmers because their beaks are specialized to allow them to skim over the top of the water to get fish. Now, when they breed, they form these large colonies and they pair up. In these pairs, they mate and then take turns watching the egg while the spouse goes to the water to cool off and gather food. This continues after the eggs have hatched and all the way up until the chicks have fledged. At this point, the birds vacate the colony only to return to this beach to do the same thing in the next year. Due to the vulnerability of both the eggs and the chicks during this colony breeding cycle, the population takes a serious hit from predators, human interference, and other such things on the beach during this breeding season. And because of this, in several coastal states, they have been listed as a threatened species. This map here is taken from the Audubon website. The areas in purple and lighter purple are the native range of the black skimmer that's counted during the Christmas bird count. That red area to the top right over here is the area that they're found in during their breeding season exclusively. For this study, there was data that was collected from the Christmas bird count. As I said previously, the study period was from 1950 until 2015. Now, during the study period, the number of skimmers as well as the party hours were recorded for each year. Using this data, the population of skimmers each year can be estimated based upon party hours. So the lowest year in terms of pure number of individuals spotted was 2,367 in 1954, and the highest was 18,698 in 2011. Now, after adjusting for party hours in 2015 and standardizing all of the amounts, an estimated 88,728 individuals is the peak in 1952, and 6,289 individuals in 2007 was the lowest recorded number after adjusting for party hours. Here we have two graphs. The first graph is the number of species spotted versus the year. So it starts at 1950 and goes until 2015, and it actually seems as though the trend line is going up. So at first glance, it seems as though the population is recovering. However, after adjusting for the party hours put in, you can see the graph on the right represents a decrease overall in the trend line. This graph is shown to be more accurate, and as stated in the hypothesis, it does seem to be lowering at a decreasing rate in more recent years. Although, as I said before, the graphs do show a discrepancy, it can be estimated based upon their threatened status and the observations from the Christmas bird count that the population is actually decreasing. It's important to conserve these birds in order to help them survive. If things continue as they are now, the population will eventually decrease to the point where the IUCN Red List will have to list them. And at that point, it's going to be hard to get them to recover completely. In addition to this, it's important to learn from what happened to these birds in order to implement things for other shorebirds in the future and other species, not just limited to birds overall. Conservation is a very important task in modern times as we destroy the environment, and the story of the black skimmer is just one of many after humankind's encroachment on nature. The ecosystems that these animals inhabit are impacted. Due to their relationships within the food web, having one species of animal be wiped out can potentially affect the entire ecosystem. Eventually, this will be felt through the number of fish that we harvest to eat or other such things that we rely on for resources. But until then, we have to take the impetus of this on ourselves and conserve these birds before it becomes an actual problem or a further problem.